what are the actual costs of renovating a home? I'm going to show you all the actual numbers of how much I spent on a renovation, on the purchase, and ultimately what we decided to sell the property for and what the property sold for in the actual profit. Now, on my last before and after video, I did give a range of my profit, but in today's video, I'm going to give you the actual number amount because that number did change because we had to change the sales price. And I was just listening to my realtor and understanding the market, I did make an adjustment on my original sell price, and so that definitely changed the profit amount I actually received from this deal. This was a big renovation for me and I definitely learned a lot. I'm going to show you all how much things cost. I'm going to try to go through it as quickly as I can because this can go super long because I have a ton of stories about different things, but maybe I can share that on another video. I'm going to explain like how much electrical, plumbing, flooring, paint, drywall costs for me, and then give you all a good breakdown of the profit and the margins on a deal like this. If you all have any question, let me know down below. I would like to know how much you all usually spend, like how much do you spend or how much do you pay per square foot for paint or for flooring, for labor and materials. I would like to know down below. So, all right, let me share my screen with you all right now. I just want to show you all some before and after videos of things that we did on the property. So as you can see before, looking back, I should have kept the red brick and changed the top. I think that would have looked better actually, because before I painted it both white, the top and the bottom, but it looked too stark. And so I decided to do a darker color to add contrast. We added spindles, painted front door, this nice blue color. We added a French drain actually here because water was puddling and flooding this area and going in the garage, so it can drain properly this way. What else did we do? Let me go down to the basement first. So this is the basement. This is what we did. We just painted it all up. As you can see, this was a hoarder house. There was trash all over the place. You see, they just left trash, so there was rodents all over the place, droppings all over the place. It smelled horrendous. So this is part of the basement. As you can see, we painted this, added new flooring, took out all the flooring, scraped the popcorn ceiling. So you see that right here. That's all gone. And like you can see this and you can say, oh, all he did was flooring and paint. No. Yes, it seems like that, but it's so expensive for demolition. You have to, first of all, order dumpsters. You have to pay labor for people to take all the trash over there. You have to pay for labor for people to like take up all this towel right here by this door, all the carpet. You have to pay people to scrape the popcorn ceiling and to bring it to level 5 finish. You have to pay people to paint, to do primer, for electrical, added sconces here, to add more trim around the windows and things of that nature. If you just see a room and can be like, oh, they just did carpet and paint. It's a little bit more than just that, especially for houses like this where they had a hoarder issue or a rodent issue or a cat urine issue where you had to concentrate on getting out the smell too. I was bleaching this concrete. I was doing other things that cost more than just paint and flooring. And so you can see that throughout the whole house. And I added a third full bath, and I'll show you all, this is the majority of my plumbing bill because the laundry was here and I moved the laundry, but the plumbing bill included this new fiberglass shower and the water heater and things of that nature. So those are some of the things that we did here in the basement. This is the living room. We made it open concept, as you all can see right here. So it's definitely more open and inviting. This area, the dining room area right here. This is the kitchen, and as you can see, the kitchen definitely came a long way. The before and after, we had to move plumbing. You can see I closed in this window, added more drywall, and just put a smaller window so the sink can be right here, right below the window. We moved the fridge to the other side, kept the stove around here, and so we put the dishwasher here, so I had to move plumbing, add new electrical outlets along this wall. It's more than just kitchen cabinets and stuff like that, right? There's electrical, there's plumbing, there's all these things. There's scraping the popcorn ceiling. We took down this wall, we took down, so we had to add drywall. So the majority, a good amount of my rehab was done on this kitchen. But let's break down the flip even more now, because I can go on and on what we did here to this, but I have a before and after so you all can look at that. So first, I want to go over what we did, just like the big thing. So demo and foundation. No foundation issues, so there's nothing wrong with that, but there was subfloor issues. But demo cost me around $9,500. So $5,480 for labor, $4,000 for materials. Materials essentially dumpsters. I think I ordered maybe 7, 8 dumpsters. Some of them were 20 yards, some of them were 30 yards. And so we always had a dumpster there. So it was just pricey for dumpsters. But we had to take insulation out of the attic, insulation out of the ceiling in the garage. I don't know if you all saw that from the before photos. So that was expensive, almost 10 grand for demolition. That's how much it costs to clean out a 2,100 square foot house like that you saw from the photos. It's expensive because like we also took out the flooring, right? We scraped the popcorn ceilings. We took it out on the walls. We took it out all the cabinets, kitchen cabinets, all the bathroom vanities, everything. So 10 grand. Next thing is like your mechanicals. This was something I didn't expect to do. And by the way, this budget is based off of like around $100,000 that I budgeted for. I went over, and so we'll see the amount soon. $6,650 was my plumbing bill. To me, that's a great price because essentially he added a third bathroom. He moved plumbing for all these things. And like I said, that included the shower and the water heater, and moving all the components in the kitchen and in the bathrooms, adding double vanities, extending the master shower. So you had to move plumbing for the master shower. And then he came to install everything. So he installed all the faucets, all the toilets and everything like that. I had to pay for the faucets and toilets, but he paid for everything else and then did the labor. And then my electric bill was $4,800. That's just for labor. We added like 18 can lights. There was a good maybe 8 to 10 lights on the exterior, all the outlets in the kitchen, and that's all labor. I paid for all the lights, and we'll see that later. Now this is for the interior. Some things to highlight. Spent around $7,900 for windows, so I was kind of on budget for that. I didn't really account for it, new doors and new trim. But after going in there, just smelling everything, I'm all like, let's rip out everything and put in new doors, new exterior, interior trim. So that was that amount. And so you can see it's pretty expensive for, it's like $3,500, $3,600 for doors. Door casing, the labor and the materials. Right here, almost $3,200 essentially for interior trim. Installation in the attic cost me $1,800, $450 to install it. Drywall, expensive, $6,800, $6,850 for labor alone. But the material wasn't that expensive. It's just the labor, like scraping the popcorn ceiling, bringing it to level 5, adding the drywall in the kitchen, bathrooms that we took apart. Right here, interior paint actually went under budget, so that's good. They charged me $2.50 per square foot, so it was $5,000 for labor. That's the materials. Flooring, they charged me $250 a square foot, so it was $5,000, but I spent more because there was subfloor issues. And then the materials, the LVP is expensive. This doesn't include bathroom towel. The next thing is kitchen. Countertops cost me $4,130. Quartz countertop, I was kind of on budget. $3,800 was what I originally budgeted for. But I really like the quartz that I got, and it looks really nice. Cabinets, I was just going to replace the doors. Wasn't a good idea, so I just ripped out everything. $7,000 for materials, and then $2,200 for labor. Backsplash was $950-ish, and this is kind of off. Appliances, $4,400. I could have went lower with this amount, but I really want to push the price points. I did spend a little bit more on premium brands and better materials for the stainless steel appliances. $1,900 for knocking down the walls and adding a new LVL beam. So that was actually a decent price. Labor was only $950. I thought that was pretty affordable. Towel, my guy charged me $3,000 per bathroom for a bathroom towel. So that included just, mixing everything, making sure everything lays properly on the backer boards and everything, and it's waterproof. And so it's a good price because that included the floor, the shower floor, the walls and everything, and cutting it up, making sure the grout looks good and line up and everything. And this amount for labor materials for the bathroom. Now my Home Depot order is just everything, like the backsplash, the pendant lights, different lights, vanity lights, exterior lights, just all these little things that I bought from Home Depot. I just put it in here. So that's around $3,400. Frameless glass, $1,700. Exterior paint, I went over $2,710 because I did repaint the brick exterior because I didn't like how it looked. So I did go over budget. That's on me. Exterior doors was $1,700. Garage doors, I didn't expect to have this cost. I thought the garage doors were fine at first, but one of them was unrepairable. So I replaced that, and then I put brand new mechanics on both of the doors and replaced one of the doors. Landscaping was $25.93, mainly because of the French drain that we added so it can drain properly when it rains. And just clearing out all the bushes that you saw from the before photos, just making it nice and clean and pretty. $2,800 for duct cleaning. I did add vent lines, new vent lines for the vent lines. This was because I did a regular duct cleaning. It didn't help, and so I had to go to Stanley Steamer and just do an encapsulation where they encapsulate the trunk line, the return line with this like rubberized sealant paint so it can mask the smell and helps with mold too. And then $536 just to clean the property after you're done. Really worth it. This amount is also for other things. It's like what things showed up for inspection. They want it fixed, so I just hired somebody to do it. So for example, there's a shed in the backyard. I didn't clear it out. They wanted it cleared out, so someone charged me maybe like $250, $300 for that. So that's part of the expense. So my rehab budget was, how much I spent on rehab was 126. It was actually 128,500. I added 3 new credit cards, so I had $2,500 worth of points. So I subtracted that from the rehab. So that's why I have 126,000 right here. So I originally budgeted for around 100,000. I spent 26% more than that. So that was my fault, my issue. Now, how much I purchased this property for? So I purchased it for 190. Had to put a 10% down payment. This is my origination fee. Total cash brought at closing was this amount, and this included title fees of that amount, origination fees, my commission to my agent who brought me that deal. And so this is my hard money cost, how much I put into just my lending cost. So this is my interest payment on this 190,000 they lent me. Well, 171 really. So this is 12.5% of that. But they break it down by day. So that's why here's different than here, because this is based off of June. June only had 30 days. So that's why it's less expensive than this payment, because July has 31 days. Here's a total breakdown of the cost. 190 for purchase, lending costs 14.5, title fees is that amount, taxes is that amount, insurance is that amount. Originally it was 2,000, but they're giving me a refund for 1,000 and some change because I bought an annual policy, and so I only held this for 6 months, so they're giving me 50% discount or 50% refund. Rehab that amount. Selling fees is 26,000. Utilities $635. So this 19,500 is for the 5% fee that I paid for the sell, because I sold it for $389,000. That's the new amount. Looking back, I'm thinking maybe I can do some more negotiation with this amount. If I'm working with this realtor, I might still stick with 5% just because we started with that, but stick with 5%. But going forward, because I paid $3,000 for the staging. You saw the staging. Let me know, you think that's worth it? And then $650 for photos. So I got my own photos, and I got 3 different photographers. This $3,000 included a photographer, but I didn't like how the photos came out. And I tried 2 separate ones. One charged me $400, another one charged me $250, and one I liked most was the $250. So now going forward, this might just be $250. And maybe I can get a discount from staging if I tell them, hey, I don't want photos. Can you take $300 off of it? Maybe they can work with me. And so this was my commission. It's 5% of the sell price. And so here's the percentage, the ratio of costs. And then here is my total profit. I sold it for $389. I thought I was going to sell for $400. Put it listed at $399. That's why I said between 30 and 40,000 on that video. That would have put me at 35,000. I decided to list it at $389 after I made that video. So I actually made $25,973, close to $26,000. This is the total cost. This includes everything, all of these, like the lending fees, insurance, all of that. And so I sold for $389, and I did a rehab for $126. A lot of people, when they do these videos, they only include purchase, rehab, and then sell price. And so if you look at this, let's just do the calculation right now. If I do this minus this minus this, people be like, oh, you're gonna make 70 grand. But people don't account for all of these other fees, right? The selling fee, the commission fee is a big amount. Lending fees if you're using a loan. Now in the future I can get the lending fees lower because they charge me more because I haven't had a ton of flips under my belt, but I'll look more into that in the future. But people would think that, oh, you made that amount, but it's actually this amount. Because if you look at all the other fees, the lending and closing cost fees, it's a good 10% of the sell price. 14 plus 26 plus 2 plus 1. That's maybe around 40 grand. 26 plus that's 36, 40. That's close to 45 grand for everything else. That's more than 10% actually. That's closer to a good amount. I don't feel like doing the calculation in my head. So lending, closing cost fees are a good amount. But if you're doing this all out of pocket where you don't have any lending fees, that helps a lot, but you're still going to have selling fees and stuff like that. I was worried I wasn't going to sell this house fast enough. I was worried that I wasn't going to get the price for it because it's in a good area, but it's not like a fancy area. And so I think with those extra finishes, it really brought it up to that $389 price that I'm glad that we hit. So I originally thought I wasn't going to sell it for $389. My original was maybe between $370 and $380. I thought I was going to spend maybe 100 grand on it, but I pushed the sell price higher, and because I pushed the rehab higher. And so that's how much I made. So in the other video, I was off because I did sell it for 10 grand less. And so essentially I made 10 grand less. So I was kind of right in my video. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. Be sure to like, subscribe. Let me know if you have any questions about this breakdown. Talk to you all later.